Hello and welcome to another fabulous video. Um, I'm trying to use a steering wheel this time, but good news, I'm not using the leg clamps. I have it clamped in my computer desk at the moment, and I'm not going to bother digging out my proper steering wheel rack until I get a proper steering wheel. This thing's well built, but in all honesty, it's about the size of my hand span, so it's too small for me. Other faults when you're using the desk clamp. My old steering wheel had a lip to make sure it was always straight in the desk. This doesn't. You just sort of have to judge it by eye. So it took me a few minutes to get it clamped properly. I do like the clamping system because the way it's designed, it won't let you over tighten it. Again, this wheel's very well built. I've discovered something interesting about this. The one thing I love about these main buttons. This game was notorious for me for not recognizing my old steering wheel's pedals as different axes. So I only really had an accelerator and then braking was a button. It does recognize the steering axis, that is great. Still having a problem with the L2 and R2 buttons being recognised as the same as the pedals, which major fault. Because that means you're basically disabling two buttons on your steering wheel. The PlayStation button, which annoys me, my old steering wheel was equipped for PS3. In fact, I bought it for the PS3 and then my PS3 died. Its home button could double up and be used. I used to use it for pause in certain games that supported it. In fact, every game supported it as a button. Didn't encounter any games that didn't treat it as a button. Anyway, let's get started. Sorry, I just had to tune my own volume in my headset. One reason I'm using a headset is because I can tune my own volume. I have to say, I do quite like that. I have the paddles because there's no gearing system sort of set to... I have that set to max by cruise control, which is great. I have the right one set to cutting speed for when I do get into like spraying, etc. I was tempted to take this build until I can afford a sprayer, but what I'm going to do is make this sort of running series. But it's not going to be a regular series, it's just I'm going to run this farm. Basically because I have sync so I can play it with my laptop. Basically I can run it across the two computers and run it up and give you status updates every so often. I'm going to try and keep this down to like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Because this game gets boring and I run out of things to talk to. Right, anyway, I have my keyboard sitting right beside me because it's a pain. I do recommend you do never ever reset all vehicles. I would need to actually look at these controls and set them up better than I do have, which I will for the next time we do this. I did already record this trying to use my headset microphone, but it kept crashing for some reason. I wonder, did that detach my floodlight? I don't imagine so. I don't think it went on. Use my driving's bad today. This sort of does the early GTA Saints Row thing where your brake button's also your reverse. Which is not a bad system, but that's not worked out. Sorry, I'm just learning some of the controls. Button. Sorry, because I'm using steering wheel, I'm actually concentrating a little more. Right, I should have. Now check my thing. But I must try this with an actual controller. Because, by the way, the rest of the video while this drawing is going to be sort of messing unless I keep a very eye on the time, which would be a lot of work at the moment. It's 22 minutes past now. This is another thing, I'm going to try and do my videos at more reasonable times. I also have to take, I mentioned before, I have to take a break between processing and actually, between doing the videos and processing them. I won't try and cut out at 25.2. What I may actually do is take a break and then come back and do 15 minutes of segment. Show you something. Oh, that works actually very well. As you can see, that field 16, I'm not sure how well you'll see it in OSM, but I do advise you full screen for this, but I'll throw up something on the screen before I do it. Where does I go back? I'll show you it after he's done. Let's see how driving feels like this. It's well good. The one thing, the extra, my Kirkman is an extra, or I should have mentioned that. It's not good for desktop steering wheels. Really, it's only good if you have a proper steering wheel rack that you can adjust like mine to come over so you can lay back and neck rocker. Or if I were to actually go off my whole, move this X rocker on top of it. That needs to be sold. I discovered in one of the crashes before crash, and I lost footage. That's not a sprayer. Some people, if this video ever gets watched, some people were probably screaming at me in the last video. That is actually, if you have an actual sprayer, that is an extension to it. It's in both tanks. I'm not sure if this may try and shaft me. This is actually better. This is one system that's slightly better than using the mouse. Change it back to Manfred. I'll show you that thing I was talking about a minute ago. Slightly more right. That's weird. It spawned there. If you're having trouble picking this up, make sure you're not on the side with lights. Sorry, I had to pull that back a second. It says it has non-slip. Just as a warning to anyone possibly looking to buy Thrustmaster. They say non-slip, that does not mean it carpets. Yeah, what's wrong with this? No, maybe this tractor's just so well weighted. This is a little tip for if you've ever got a worker doing something like planting. I'm going to actually stop it 25.2 and then I'm not in game time obviously. Which is about 8 minutes away. I'm going to stop and then I'm going to come back later when the field's grown. I'm just going to show you a couple little features. Like for example, if you're selling something, hopefully I'll let me sell it without selling my trash. The reason I sold that again is that I have that to pay back. I want to take a chance to start paying that back. Remove this for a second. This driving actually feels quite spot on. With the exception of not having axle, so having to drop that much for that turn, which is quite a wide turn, so I wouldn't need to. Wondering I like this view when I actually prefer this view when I'm using the steering wheel, even though I haven't used as much because it's not the default. It's just nice, especially if you just installed the steering wheel or it's a new steering wheel and you're getting used to the way it syncs up. I'm sort of okay because it's, apart from the size differences, it's sort of the same tracking as my previous wheel. I do love this one, seems to actually I must check credit card. It actually seems to give me full acceleration. Maybe there's something in city car settings. I apologize, Trustmaster. The other thing is, I must bring this up. I have to bring this up. I contacted the Trustmaster. I could not find this product by the Amazon model name, which is the one on the box, or the name of that it gives in the driver under devices. That is weird to me. This is if you're wondering why I just switched, this is a problem Trustmaster always had. That's the problem. Change thing is the same as the PDA button. Gonna have to fix that at some point. Yes, this has that problem too. I'm just going to take a quick look around. These are the first 3 fields you deal with. You start out with field 16, you do not get a choice. Because to be quite honest, it is one of the worst fields if you don't. You pay a simulator for it being a simulator and you don't play it for the map breaking stuff. There's 4 minutes left. Like, you can get away with farming simulator, even with the trailer. You can get away with doing crazy stuff like this that you've seen in many YouTube videos. I'm just going to leave it in cruise control and use nothing but the steering wheel. The one downside to using the steering wheel is quite a lot of my instincts are telling me to hit the brake pedal. In fact, I might have to do noticeably stop myself hitting the brake pedal. I know tractors are robust, but they can't get away with stuff like that. The general rule with doing this stuff, as nearly is, as long as you're in green, you're grand. And I am not joking you around. You can do that with a fully loaded trailer. See, can I go in it quicker just on the accelerator? So I can. Nope, always leave tools that aren't used. Say you're only in field 16, so you do what I've done and leave all the tools here. Leave them out of the way or they will block, especially the combine. The combine is such a bastard for getting stuck. Just because there's something like a millimeter in the way, the worker will stop. And when I bring up a problem with my turtle beaches at the moment, I'm not your traditional nerd that walks around all day in shirts. And the only method really clipping is a shirt clip. Which I sort of could put it on the zipper my fleece, but I'd have to leave my fleece on top, and it's February in Ireland, and any other UK people know it's freezing at the moment in the United Kingdom and Ireland. They're side by side people. Probably going to get yelled at that anyway. So that's not a desirable option. Again ticked off. I'm gonna have to change that, which means I'm gonna have to take the PDA button. I think triangle has no button, so I'm gonna try and put it on that. I say triangle, it's like button. Here, my old steering wheel will tell me because it has it labelled properly. Like this should if it's button 4. So I think any button, any steering wheel that's advertised as dual console should... I should actually check, maybe it's labelled in the manual, not in the steering wheel. It's a very nice looking wheel. I do like the PlayStation logo to go with. It's nearly like it's for the PS4, it's so well polished and all. And it's a very solidly thing, like there's a little piece of red plastic up at the top, but somehow it doesn't look tacky and cheap. Right, I said I'd stop in 8 minutes ago. I'm only waiting until they finish this film. Any suggestions, any crops you want me to experiment with? Any stuff you want to see me do, like maybe take a fully load trailer down there to show you I'm not talking a load of crap. Ask, and ye shall receive. Even I have to go onto my own save, save where I've just packed it, so money's not a concern. The one thing I really don't like about this game is, I know they've added a truck in to the thing now, but I really detest. Most farmers will have a pickup truck or something just for driving around in. Like, I know maybe in some small towns it's okay, but driving into certain areas in a tractor will just get you... people won't like you. And I know tractors do an important job, but still, seriously. If you're wondering why he does that stopping, it's just while he's turning, he keeps the cigar up to save money. Right, the only thing I can do now is let that grow. The other thing I love about sitting in an AI is he does not stop for those missions, because that can mess up your rhythm, especially if you're in a car. Like, I don't have a front loader, no desire to get one. What I should do is empty the silos and run them into the tails. For starters, as far as I'm aware, you can't see that my thing. That seal's placed between 25 and 28. That's fields. That is the closest sales place, as far as I'm aware. This should be the field done, and then I will sign off, and next time you see this field, it shall be shiny with bountiful crops. And then next time you see it after that, who knows when, I shall be showing you basically some techniques after starting a game, basically how to start it up. I hate that default view 3 is third person. I really wish you could change that. Basically since your primary view in foot is first person. Anyway, this is Date Gamer, thank you for watching. And again, any games you want to see, throw them in the comments. Anything you want to see me in games I've already done, you want to see me do, throw it in the comments. If you want to suggest improvements to the channel, about for non-subscribers, about the introductory VOD thing, I'm going to wait until I build up some videos and then I'm going to do it. I'm basically going to do what a lot of gaming channels do and just take excerpts from my videos and choose the best. Well, what I feel is the best. There will definitely be some stuff from Surgeon Simulator because at the moment out of all my videos it's the best. Anyway, thank you for watching. I talk too much. Goodbye. Hello and welcome back. As you can see now, my crops are grown. This, I don't think it's the correct crop. Sorry about that, I accidentally had the stop record button while looking for the button. This one. As you can see by this colour guide, the field is now ready. I would love to set it up so it didn't count all that grass. You can count that grass and sell this chaff, I think. The reason that's not counted is you can only cut that during a mission. I do recommend if you buy more, park it there. Just leave it at the course. And then bring a... then just... whenever you get the mission, drive a tractor over. With a trailer or whatever to unload it. Eventually you can buy all these fields. The one thing I'll say about these fields is do not change the pattern of the cultivating. Let's say for example that field is, I know it seems like a little bit of distance there, that field is pressed right up against the bridge. So if you try to change, that field has a vertical cultivation pattern on that map. If you change it to horizontal, you will always get, especially when you get into the bigger, more powerful, like this tractor here. Yes, you can buy that tractor. You can't, it will get stuck in there, so you're better leaving it long ways because it has room to turn, etc. Anyway, back to the game. As you can see, my crops are fully grown. I'm sitting with the combine ready. All I basically did was I came back and I changed the time scale, which is a very good tactic, especially if you only have the one field. It's changing the time scale to... that's it. I advise if you're setting up fields, you keep them all ready. Anyway, let's get going. Oh, this, I think, is the crop I wanted. See how he's leaving none of that mess in the ground? All I need to do is cultivate it. You can get crops. I'm not sure which crop. I will look into it for the next video we do. Some crops, you just need to plant them once, and you just need to keep taking the top off with this. Now this will be fairly... See the way that's barely filled up compared to the last crop? This field really should be sprayed, etc, etc. I'm going to get that up to a certain thing and then I'm going to start the cultivator. Again, these non-slip pedals, I wasn't using my pedals, I was just using the keyboard for a bit there. They like to move a lot. They like to move it. They like to move it. Sorry. That was a ridiculously good song. The one thing I like about using AIs, I don't need to worry about fuel. I'm going to maybe, after one on mode, maybe look at starting cultivating. I wish I could arrange the vehicles in this order, so I could have like that on one side of cut and then that in the other, but meh, that's life. So I don't know why it just doesn't pull it back more and do a proper professional job. So I hate patches like that. That's one downside to using AI. The other thing this thing could use, if you're using AI, it could use all notification system built into the PDA that basically tells you AI reports harvesters getting full at field 16. So let's say you're off working with another field. You can come back and do this. Oh, he seems to actually not believing in the little patches at the moment. That is amazing. Again, white. Just done some perfect areas. In the harbor, don't shine through. Sorry. I sing when I'm bored, when I'm in the shower, and when I'm drunk. That pipe going out is a little thing if you're sitting in another tractor watching it, which I can't imagine what you'd be doing. Basically, that's the highway saying, here I need a empty boy. I'm just going to let him track on until he has, till near 95%, then I'm going to bring that tractor in. I don't want to get in his way, and he's going to have to stop for me to do a proper unload anyway. See there, is at 90%. It's not as bad when he's doing runs on that side, but when he's doing runs on the other side, you just get in his way when he tries to turn. 93, 94, 95. That's the wrong one. Note this is a bad idea if you're an actual farmer. Driving through crops is bad, okay? The way he just lifted his thing, that just basically says, I'm full. Really blood. Shit. Bad, 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 bad. I love the first trailer they give you has more capacity than the first combine they give you. Before I go empty this, you're supposed to balance out your cops and choose the best ones. I find early in the game you can't do that, you just choose the crops that require the least work. Because least work means least fuel, especially if you're like me and you use AIs a lot. Oh, the X button on those. I just use my keyboard there because I have to change the view button or the delay button. I'm not sure triangles sync to anything. I should probably call button 5. See there, basically they're going at the same speed, but he's cleaning up after. I wondered if he destroyed those little bits or... I want to do a lap of my runs to seals off camera. Or off recording because it's boring as all hell. But this field's almost done. That answers my question. I think he does destroy it. Which I'm not going to be finicky about. He's doing a better job than this, but hopefully once I get a combine with a wider jaw or cutter thing, that'll be sorted. I think the reason he's catching up is he's far quicker. Let's look. I think one of the reasons too is he's quicker in the turns. Which is why I delayed this thing starting. Like as you can see, he's making mincemeat of this field. Like after he'll be done not long after this thing's done. This is doing well. I'm going to give you a tip also, I meant to mention it last video. When you're seeding, make sure you're in real time. Because otherwise your crops will grow unevenly. Also, if you're using a seeder with an AI, do not pay to fill it. Because the AI will ignore any seeds stored in the seeder. Right, well that's that combine gone, so I'm gonna... You're up. 1 second, I think it's some breaking into my house. Sorry people, I'm back. The dog was a false alarm. You just seen me there because I was away and I left the game running. I did remember to knock off the recording, which is good. Something I'm going to do now. Something I'm doing now is empty the harvester, never leave stuff lying in the harvester. This is so if you're doing different crops, like I've actually decided now, because I've discovered the cultivator can get rid of those long trails to... I'm eventually going to learn the symbols, all these symbols. And I'm going to choose the crop with me. You also have to consider things like work you have to put on this. I'm just emptying it so I can load up that trailer and take it. Haven't these farmers ever heard of a thing called lube? Seriously. And this field's almost full circle. This is going to be the end of, as I said, this isn't going to be a regular series. This is just, I'm going to build this up a bit and give you, I might make it like once a month unless something major happens, or just basically run through an hour worth of tasks. They'll be testing, bro. Jesus, that thing is a good turning circle. Right, I just had a problem with... Now, something I do not like about the smaller tools is I find they're a pain to go right, that's the side I need to attach to. I'm actually experimenting with different crops at the moment. Final bit I'm going to do in this video is empty this. And I just mean into my own stockpile. I'm not going to show all the millions and millions of runs to the depot I have to do. Partially because while I'm doing them I'll be stuck up music. And YouTube copyright would go, nope, 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 fuck you, fuck this. I also would love YouTube to explain to me. I'm not sure if it's one of those movie makers' fault, well I have to just use YouTube's uploader. But I would love to learn how to use their censoring system. So basically I'd stick up in front of, like say I'm drinking in a video. I didn't realise I had any potatoes. Right, I'm gonna have to learn this skill at some point. This is a weird trailer to reverse with. Potatoes is not accepted here. English is not accepted here either, is it? I mean, I've heard of simulators having bad English before, but that's... I do like this sort of idea. The problem with potatoes and sugar beets. I'm going to tell you this now. Their tools are exclusive. And what I mean by that is, I've mentioned this before. Potato tools only work in potato, sugar beet tools only work in sugar beet, with exception like sprayers, etc. Which you can use to increase the yield of your crop. Which will be the next thing I'll show. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Deep Gaming. I have not been burglarized. And thank you for watching, basically.